Hi friends, happy Wednesday. Today we are going to classify some quadrilaterals. Yesterday we were classifying triangles, which was a three-sided polygon, but today we're classifying quadrilaterals, which are four-sided polygons. The supplies that you need are your workbook. If you could open that up to problem set 4.15, you need a whiteboard, a marker, don't forget a pencil, and of course your straight edge. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to take a different look at these different quadrilaterals and shapes. The last few weeks we've been doing Quizlets, and on the Quizlets there's like all these vocab words, and there's a lot of them that you're like, wait, we don't know this. So this will be the end of it, and now you would have learned as of today all of the vocab words that are on there. So make sure you're still practicing those as much as possible. Um, to get those precise words down and help memorize them. So let's get started on your whiteboard with a little review. How many lines of symmetry does a circle have? This is review from the last few days. Hopefully, you said that a circle has an infinite amount. An infinite amount. We can't even count them all. Infinite. To infinity and beyond. We can't even count them all. But remember, it needs to go through that center point. Okay? Hang on, Peyton's here. Okay, sorry, Peyton came in. All right, so now that we have reviewed our lines of symmetry, remember symmetry goes in half and it lines up. Let's go over what a quadrilateral. A lot of people remember quad because of a four-wheeler. They know a quad or a four-wheeler has four wheels. Quad. A quadrilateral is a polygon that has four sides. Notice I have some different ones. I have a trapezoid, I have a rectangle, we have rhombuses. You know, those are all examples of a quadrilateral. Everyone say quadrilateral. If you want to take a picture of this so you have it in your notes, quadrilateral. Our next one is a parallelogram. A parallelogram is also a four-sided shape. It's also a quadrilateral. It's also a polygon. It has four sides, and the opposite sides are parallel, meaning this line right here and this line right here, they're congruent and they're parallel. They're never going to intersect. They're never going to cross. They're never going to meet. And then the opposite sides here and here are also parallel, which means they'll never cross, they'll never intersect, and they will never meet. Let's go ahead and learn about the rectangle. Again, a rectangle is a polygon. It's a shape. It's also a quadrilateral because it has four sides. It has four straight sides, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And they have four right angles. And if you notice, like this line and this line are congruent, we can identify that using those tick marks. And then the opposite sides are congruent. We can, again, identify that using those tick marks. And we know that the opposite sides are parallel. So this side and this side is parallel. They're parallel to each other. They'll never cross. They'll never intersect. They're never going to meet. And the same with the opposite ones. Okay? Hopefully you remember a rectangle. Our last one is called a square. A square has four sides again, four right angles. All the sides are equal. So we would have a tally mark on all of them, just one tally mark, because all four of those sides are congruent. I have to pause the video again. My friend Peyton's back, so I just put my mask on. So we know that a square is really a special rectangle. So a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. Okay, that's something you need to remember. You want to make sure you take a picture of this so you have it in your notes. Go ahead and open up, if you didn't already, to the problem set. It's 4.15. Hey, Chase, come on in. Okay, sorry, my friend Chase came in. So now that you're open up to problem set, it is 4.15, 4 and 1500ths problem set. We're going to go ahead and we're going to identify or classify those quadrilaterals. Okay, no, that wasn't a good color, sorry. So your page should look something like this. And we have a parallelogram, we have a trapezoid, we have a rectangle, and we have a square. Trapezoid we learned about yesterday when we were doing those figures. We know that every single one of these is also known a quadrilateral, and they're also known as a polygon. Quadrilateral just simply means it has 4 sides, okay? And all 4 of these have 4 sides. We also know that they're polygons. A polygon is a shape. So they're all shapes or figures, and they're all quadrilaterals because they have 4 sides. What I want you to do is, based on the symbols, the tally marks, the congruent signs, the right angles, I want you to just simply try to fill this in yourself. Now, here's the deal. Spelling matters because there's a word bank. So if you're spelling square incorrectly, that means you're not using your resources, and I would mark it wrong. Pause your video, try it out. All right, friends, thanks for trying that out on your own. I'm going to go over some of the answers. Again, I used the different symbols that are on the quadrilaterals. So for example, I'm going to start with the easy ones that I know. I know a 4-sided shape that are all 4 sides are congruent is a square. And all of those tick marks have 1, which means that all 4 are the same. I also know that a rectangle has right angles, and that's these two both have right angles. So that's nice. And technically, a square is a rectangle, so we could put this down here as a rectangle as well if we wanted to. So I have rectangle and I have square. Next, I have a parallelogram. So a parallelogram, they have opposite sides are parallel. And I know that this one is because this will never meet or intersect with the other, and the opposite ones, again, will never intersect or meet. Where on this quadrilateral, eventually when these lines continue, they will cross, intersect, meet, whatever you want to call them, right? Eventually that they will. So I know that this last one is what we call a parallelogram. Remember, if you did not spell these correct, I would technically mark it wrong just because there was a word bank for you. All right, we're going to continue. My question for you is, explain the attribute that makes a square a special rectangle. Once you have answered this, then we're going to play Kahoot, so you can join back in the classroom with me. Pause your video, and then I will give you the answer for you to check back. So explain an attribute. An attribute that makes them the same is like their lengths are opposite, and they all have 4 right angles. So that's what helps to identify that a square is really a special rectangle. All right, friends, head back to class so we can play Kahoot. Thanks for working hard. Remember these words, and hopefully you took those screenshots so you have these precise words to refer back to. Thank you.